Is your workspace always perfectly organized? Congratulations, we have nothing to talk about. However, if your workspace is in a constant freefall towards chaos and clutter, like mine, welcome to this video. This video is for you. If you have grown into the habit of letting things go and then spending maybe a full day cleaning everything in one go, only to see things quickly deteriorate already from the day after, then this video is even more for you. Throughout my entire musician and maker adventures, all my music studios and my maker workshops have been a total mess. My current art project is challenging me on every level of my life, and more than ever, I want to become an organized person. This has been something that I've wanted to do for 10 years, but for some reason I've never been able to change my behavior. But now I have found a triforce of reading inspiration. Recently I started to apply the findings from the Triforce onto my own life, and it seems to kind of work. So I thought I'd make a video to share my findings with you. Let's start with looking at the problem for some context. I've noticed a kind of sawtooth pattern in the organization of my workshops. While I'm working, I'm creating mess. The more I'm working, the more mess I'm creating. Finally, one day I've had it and I clean everything up in one day. And then from day 2, it all starts over again. This pattern is constantly repeating, and it does affect the efficiency of my work. I've been wanting to break this inefficient pattern for years, but for some reason I just fell straight back into it. So this leads us to the first cornerstone of the Triforce. The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying by Marie Kondo. This book was revolutionary for me. It showed me a more intimate relationship between me and the physical objects around me. Second, it taught me to organize by category rather than space. The third takeaway is that the spark joy thing that Marie Kondo is so famous for really works. Marie is suggesting that you declutter your space and choose what to keep and what to get rid of by determining if the things spark joy or not. So you should take something in your hands and feel, yeah, it sparks joy, I keep it. And something else, no, it doesn't spark joy, I get rid of it. This sounds so banal. It works. It just works. And after a while, you're surrounded with things that does spark joy for you. It's really cool. Fourth, the book showed me a more positive side of tidying. To have someone explaining to me that tidying isn't just pure evil was really, really uplifting for me to hear. I needed to hear that. Fifth and most important takeaway, Marie taught me that everything you keep needs a home. Everything you have needs a place to be where it always is. That's a very, very important concept that we'll get back to later. Exactly 1 year ago, I did a huge Marie Kondo transformation. What you're seeing here is me collecting a huge recycling pile of things I found around my house and in my workspaces that I wasn't using or didn't spark joy. At that point, I thought that this will solve all my problems. I'm now an organized person. But for me, the real problem started when I got back to work. It was like the Marie Kondo book showed me a great system to organize, but I wasn't taught really how to keep it organized. And that's where we get to the second part of the Triforce. Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones by James Clear. This book is a bomb. The most inspiring thing about this book is that it's not clamping down hard on you for having bad habits. Rather, it's telling you exactly why you're having bad habits, why you haven't been able to change them. When I was listening to Atomic Habits, I started to see my own behavior from the outside. You start to automatically dissect your own habits. And let's get back to what Marie taught us, that everything you have has to have a place where it lives. The problem is that I don't put things back where they should be. So now I need to put a screw in here. I go to where my screw gun lives. It lives here under the table. And where my bit lives. Here's a screw. I put it in. Work is done. According to James Clear, habits are automated solutions to problems. And by nature, these solutions are often short term. So I go take the tools from their organized place, I use them, and then I drop them on the spot. And of course, short term, this is the best solution. It's much faster to just drop the tools here and move on to second task than what it is to actually be mindful, to take the bit out, put the bit box back, and put the screw gun under the table where it lives. Another thing I learned from Atomic Habits is that your habits are very tightly related to your identity. Picture that you're trying to quit smoking and you get offered a cigarette. You can either reply, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." You can also reply, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." This shift where you tie your identity into your habit is very powerful. So I've always seen myself as a disorganized person. I always thought like, orders for idiots, a genius can handle chaos. That's a Swedish expression. And now, like when I'm failing with my machine and thinking I have to up my game, I'm like, no, I am trying to shift my own identity from I'm a creative but a little bit disorganized person and it's kind of cool to I'm a creative, organized person. The 5 big ideas of Atomic Habits are: 1. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. James talks about a small 1% change every day over time will grow exponentially, just like compound interest. 2. If you want better results, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. Think of an Olympic Games. Probably all athletes have the goal of winning the gold, but it's the athlete with the best system that gets the gold. 3. The most effective way to change your habits is to focus not on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. So this is the identity point, that I am an organized person, or I want to be an organized person. If I want that badly enough, it's easier for me to change my habits accordingly. 4. The 4 laws of behavior change are a simple set of rules we can use to build better habits. They are: 1. Make it obvious. 2. Make it attractive. 3. Make it easy. And 4. Make it satisfying. So when I have to reprogram myself to put the screw gun back, Marie Kondo helped me making it easy because she helped me finding a place where this lives. To make it satisfying, I could kind of give myself a pat on the back and saying like, "Wow, Martin, you're such an organized person who puts the tool back. This is going to lead to a world tour with your Marble Machine X. Well done, Martin. Well done. Wow, I'm so impressed. This is amazing." I think the way to make this obvious is actually to say out loud to myself, I'm done with the tool. I don't need the tool anymore. So since I'm an organized person, I'm now going to go and put the tool back. Make it attractive. I have no clue how I can make it attractive. Number 5, environment is the invisible hand that shapes human behavior. If you don't want to eat crackers, don't buy the crackers on the store. Don't have them lying on your countertop in your kitchen. When you're going down for a glass of water, of course you're gonna eat the crackers if they're there. Remove them. So imagine I'm just starting to work on these exciting new pieces for the Marble Machine X it's the beginning to the end of the whole art project. I'm putting the screw in and I'm super excited to start with these pieces instead. Let's forget that here and move on to the next part. In this very, very moment, I have to be mindful enough to like, wait, hold it. I have to choose to act differently upon this trigger. This leads us to the 3rd part of the Triforce. If I can be mindful enough in this moment, take a step back, see the situation, I will give myself a much better chance in doing my desired action, the action that is compatible with my new organized person identity. And to learn this, I am using the Waking Up app by Sam Harris. This is a mindfulness app that has been nothing short of life-changing for me. And when I tie the mindfulness practice together with the changing habit practice, I kind of realized that now I have the Triforce. And I'm not good at any of this. All this comes super, super slow for me. It's just it's not easy at all. This is not a quick fix. This is like a long-term conscious investment, dedication to where I want to go in the future. I'm training myself to separate myself from my own thoughts or from my own thinking. You can step back to the layer of consciousness and kind of look at the thoughts from a distance. And that is very, very useful in the situation with the screw gun when you just want to move on to the next thing. And instead of just like a monkey going for the banana, I can kind of take a step back. This all happens in an instant. And kind of see a smorgasbord of options instead. I don't really believe in free will, but it feels that I just got plenty much more of it. So to take this step back and looking at your own reactions and looking how animal-like you react to things and people in your surrounding, it feels like one of the best investments of time I've ever done. And investment on money. The app is a high-priced app, but they have a really cool policy where the app should not cause financial stress for anyone. So if you're interested in the Waking Up app, you can actually write to them and ask for a free account, and they grant it, no questions asked. So yeah, this is early days in my Triforce transformation. So the past week I've been doing some Marie Kondoing. You can see here is my outdoor storage and the disorganization. I decided to build a plywood rack. And here you can kind of see the after pictures. You can kind of see how big amount of space I just cleared up. And then I continued in my indoor workshop. It looked like this, and I cleaned it up, and now it looks like this. I also organized my screws. I had like a ton of just unorganized screws, which is like, I always throw the screws in the same bucket regardless what it is. Now when I take too many screws, I'm going to put them back where they live, like Marie Kondo has taught us. Even though all this looks very satisfying, this is like a false sense of accomplishment. This is still just part of the sawtooth pattern, and I hope I can learn over time to use Triforce to just create a steady line of organization. Come November, you're gonna see me levitate in front of the Marble Machine X, okay? Since I'm useless on all these things, you should not take my word for anything, but these 3 sources of inspiration I highly recommend. I have no affiliation links or anything to these products. This is just out of sheer interest of sharing stuff with you. Hope you appreciate that, and see you on the next video.